Well, as you've seen already, our weather is a story here in the Northeast. It's going to get worse. Sleet, freezing rain, some snow. Flights being diverted and canceled. Temperature will drop. There's a bit of a breeze out of the Northeast at 7 miles an hour. Not much of an effect on this game. Deep back is Niall Davis. Quentin Demps is back there too. We've had the flip of the coin. Redskins won. They have deferred. They'll take it to begin the second half. And to boot it will be Kai Forbath for Washington. No one saw this kind of season coming, Solomon Wilcots, for the Redskins, who won the division a year ago at 10-6.
Man, they were expecting big things, and obviously the quarterback spent the entire offseason in rehab and not in full development, but they want to use these final 4 games here in our nation's capital to improve as a football team.
Here we go, Redskins and the Chiefs, who can get in the playoffs with the win and some help. Demps with a nice block up ahead from his running mates in a 27-yard return for Quentin Demps, who plays in the secondary for Kansas City. This takes us to the quarterback, Alex Smith, who has played well the last couple of weeks. 65% completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, and 2 picks.
Well, they've lost 3 consecutive games, but not because of Alex Smith. He's thrown 2 or more touchdown passes in each of those last 3 games. His offense has really gotten hot, averaging 33 points per game in their last 2 contests. So this offense has improved under Alex Smith. The more they play in Andy Reid's offense, you can expect them to begin to improve on their point production.
Jose Gums was a little shaken up on the special teams for the Redskins. They escort him off, walking off under his own power. So from the 33, it's 1st and 10. Sherman in the backfield with Charles. And Jamal Charles, a block from Schwartz. Also got a block from Avery downfield as he takes it for a gain of about 9 yards. That takes us to the offensive line, and they'll have to contain linebacker Brian Orakpo for the Redskins. Big chore there. Schwartz at the right guard today. Stevenson starting for Brandon Albert, who is out with an injury. And no Anthony Fasano at the tight end today. McGrath will get the nod there. They'll rely a lot on Charles with the footing a little bit slick, obviously. 2nd down and 2. That's caught by the aforementioned McGrath, who is brought down by London Fletcher, second leading tackler near midfield. That's a catch and run of 9 on the play. And a 1st down. Here is the front line for the Redskins. Their front 7 got a lot of respect. It's number 23 defense in the NFL, 14 against the run, 27 against the pass. The linebackers to watch, Kerrigan on one side, Orakpo on the other. And in the secondary, Rambo starting for Brandon Merriweather, who is out with a sternum contusion. From midfield to 1st and 10. Smith, wobbly but on the mark and caught by wide receiver Dwayne Bowe, working on Rambo. And picks up 17. Some good passing early. Another 1st down for the Chiefs.
How about this? They come out and they're striking. It's just going to be right across the middle of the field. And, you know, when I see this kind of weather and I see this kind of passing, what we're getting from Kansas City early on, I'm reminded of what Bill Belichick and Tom Brady talks about. You can throw the ball in this kind of weather where the footing for defenders is not so good.
Ball's at the 28. It's a 1st and 10. There's Charles. Good block by Schwartz, keeping his balance. And Doughty finally falls on him with a run of 13 yards for Jamal. It's another 1st down for the Kansas City Chiefs to the 15.
Looks like good footing for the sweet feet of Jamal Charles. Look at the cuts, losing balance right there, but still getting to the 2nd level of the defense. Right now, the Chiefs are on the move, both running and throwing the football. Kevin.
How about that offensive line and some of the blocking?
It's all about balance. It's what Andy Reid told us when we spoke with him yesterday. The first opening drive touchdown in their last 15 games. Only 1.
From the 15, Charles looking for some help, and Kerrigan wraps him up with no gain on the play. They stay at the Redskin 15 in the game-opening drive.
Well, that 3-4 defensive front played this one real nicely. Look at the top. Brian Orakpo doesn't get hooked in that zone blocking scheme. That's where you succeed in your run defense. We said this defense has given up a league-high 17 rushing touchdowns. That's Ryan Kerrigan and Brian Orakpo. If they can set the edge today and not allow Jamal Charles to bounce it outside, they stand a good chance of keeping him hemmed in.
5 defensive backs. They bring in Biggers, the Redskins take out Jarvis Jenkins, 2nd down and 10. Stevenson the block at the left tackle. That is coughed up. It is incomplete with a big stick by Riley on a pass intended for Bo.
Perry Riley Jr. comes over and separates Dwayne Bowe from the ball. Watch, ball hits Bowe in the chest. He's got to possess it. But then right there, you can see it was starting to come loose. And the Chiefs are lucky that ball didn't fly in the hands of one of the Redskins defender after Perry Riley Jr. delivered the blow.
Fisher is starting at that right tackle today for Kansas City, the #1 overall pick in the NFL most recent draft. 4th down and 10. And out of the reach of Charles with the coverage on the play by Bakari Rambo, the rookie out of Georgia. So it's 4th down. They'll have to settle for 3, and the Redskins keep him out of the end zone.
Oh, the Redskins got to be celebrating because they come into today's game with the last-ranked red zone defense, and they're able to keep the Chiefs out of the end zone, who've been really good at scoring once they get inside the red zone. Ryan Succop, 20 of 23 field goals along of 51. This should be a chip shot.
Very little breeze. 33-yard try here for Ryan Succop. The hold will come from Colquitt. Gafford with the long snap. Chiefs on their opening drive trying to get on the board on a 33-yarder. And he got it. And the Chiefs lead with 11.5 to play in the first quarter. Bo caught one for 17. Charles ran one for 15. Coming up, Robert Griffin III and the Redskins, who trail early at home. Andy Reid has his team tied for the 2nd-best record in the AFC with the New England Patriots. And we've had a 8-play, 52-yard drive with the field goal by Succop. Miles Paul is 84. Waiting for the kickoff. 3-0 Kansas City. And here's the boots by Succop. Miles Paul will bring it about 3 yards out of the end zone. And is finally taken down on the play by Kansas City's Josh Martin. 24-yard return. And here comes Robert Griffin III. He is over 3,000 yards passing so far this season. He was 24-32 against the Giants on Sunday night.
And what did he tell us? He says, we will not let the 3-9 record define us. He said he wants to go out and play with a smile. He wants to get better performing in the pocket at the quarterback position. He says, and get back to just enjoy winning. The real key component to that, Kevin, is the winning part. They've got to be able to win games for it to be enjoyable.
The ball is at the 21. I think. In the pistol, the read option. RG3 on 1st and 10. Low and looked like uncatchable to Joshua Morgan. 2nd down and 10. A lot of players changing their cleats on that line in particular. Williams at the left tackle was a Pro Bowler a season ago. And in terms of their playmakers, Pierre Garçon is having a career year. 84 catches so far. He is zeroing in on Art Monk's Redskin record of 106 from a couple decades ago. 2nd down and 10. Alfred Morris. Ali brings him down. It's a gain of a yard. Lichtensteiger tried to make a block and couldn't. Now at the 22. Here's the Kansas City defense, number 21 in the NFL. Poe has been a fixture in the middle there. The linebacker's a big story, but no Justin Houston today. Frank Zombo continues to take his place. Houston has got that elbow injury. With his 11 sacks, he is inactive. And this is a look at the secondary. Flowers and Smith at the corners. Lewis and the Pro Bowler Eric Berry at the safeties. 3rd and a long 9. And that is caught. Garçon brought down by Marcus Cooper. It's a 13-yard catch, and it's a 1st down for Washington.
Well, it's just a quick slant. See, watch the footing of one. And see how the defender, Cooper, had to take that stutter step. Took him extra steps to come out of the break, where the footsteps was more decisive for Pierre Garçon. In this kind of weather, where the receivers know exactly where they're going, and a defender like Marcus Cooper has to react. With this kind of footing, I tell you, these wide receivers can have a huge day getting separation from the defenders.
They go back to the base defense. Does Kansas City from the 34. 1st down and 10 for the Redskins. Alfred Morris, who's closing in on 1,000 yards, brought down on the play by Akeem Jordan, the ex-Eagle. It's a loss of a yard on the play.
Yeah, we talk about the footing for offensive, defensive players. I also believe that the play callers, Kyle Shanahan, offensive coordinator for the Redskins, as well as Andy Reid. You're going to have to call more run plays, allow the runner like Alfred Morris to get coming downhill. If you run wide, to be able to stick that foot in the ground and get vertical may be more difficult with the footing we see on this field today.
Kyle Shanahan, the head coach's son, who's the offensive coordinator, dialing up a 2nd down and 11 here. Griffin. And it's incomplete. Aiming for Garcon. There was room to work across the way with a nice deceptive move. 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well, Brandon Flowers just slips and falls down. This is a comeback route up at the top. Look, watch it here. He'll come back, but watch the defender. Watch Brandon Flowers. He'll slip and fall down. Pierre Garcon is wide open. And Robert Griffin, he's got to complete this pass. You're not going to get any more open than that. Good footing for the receiver. Bad footing for the defensive back trying to react on a frozen field.
Picking the right cleats is a big story today.
It's a huge deal when you play defense, particularly on the back end of the secondary.
Footing is everything. 3rd and 11. Chiefs with 5 in the secondary. Berry on the blitz. He's chased by Poe and RG3, who's been running real well last couple weeks. 88 on the ground last week. Comes up with a run of 6 yards right there.
Not going to be enough. He gets out of the pocket, not able to hit the 1st down marker. But for Robert Griffin, and we talked about it, Kevin, it's really about making plays from the pocket. He was able to escape there, but on that 2nd down pass attempt where he had plenty of time and a receiver that was wide open, he missed it, and now they're not able to convert the 3rd down.
40-year-old Sav Rocca will punt this off to Dexter McCluster. On the move he goes from about the 30 and breaks free. He's got a block from Hemingway, and down the sideline he goes, breaking a rocket tackle, and finally brought down from behind by the Redskins' Trenton Robinson. The speed merchant McCluster racing downfield, 48, and the Chiefs with great beginning position.
It all starts, Sav Rocca's one of the lowest ranked punters in the NFL. This is a line driver to one of the more talented return men in football, Dexter McCluster. He hits this one going downhill. You see the block right there on Rocca, and then McCluster gets the rest done. Great blocking. They set it up, but it was not a really good punt. He punted it down the middle of the field. You can see the special teams has played a role in this disastrous season for the Redskins. Ranked dead last in terms of kickoff field position, and then the punt return, they're dead last as well, giving up huge plays like what you just saw.
So the Chiefs will be at the 13 after the 48-yard punt return. It's 1st and 10. McCluster outside. A block by Bowe and a block by Hemingway, and then knocked down by D'Angelo Hall. With a gain of about 9 yards on the play. We'll see the spot in the snow. As you can obviously tell, the yard markers are going to have to give us some indication, because the hash on the field revealing nothing on the play.
Yeah, you love playing in games like this stuff.
Do you?
I can tell you right now, absolutely. You got to have the right footwear, because as our coaches always taught on the back end in the secondary, you slip and fall down, the officials are usually holding up both hands signifying a touchdown. So you can't slip and fall. It's just not an option.
It's a mess. It's 2nd down and 2. Charles, a block from Allen, and then brought down by Kerrigan, and a host of Redskins on the play, and no gain on the play for Jamal Charles.
And you notice he was running sideways, Kevin. Can't get turned upfield in this kind of weather with this kind of footing. I just believe if you're the play caller, in this case Andy Reid, give the runner a chance to get going downhill. And he even saw it right there. He knows on that play call sheet, he's got to give the runner an opportunity to attack the defense coming downhill.
Big-time punt return by McCluster against this very suspect special teams of the Redskins. It's 3rd down and 2. McCluster on the move. Here goes the quarterback, who's looking for a block, and outside and head first, and he was hit by Biggers, close to a 1st down. He needed just a couple, and we'll see the spot. I think he's going to be shy.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously shy, sure.
And the reason why is because Alex Smith should have given the ball to Dexter McCluster right here. That's the read. See, he kept it himself. And McCluster doesn't even know, or excuse me, Jamal Charles doesn't know who to block. He's like, why didn't he give me the ball? For some reason, Alex Smith decided not to hand it off and just keep it himself.
We're going to go for it.
Andy Reid looks like he's going to call a timeout here to get everyone lined up and make sure they're organized.
Offense is on the field. Timeout will be taken unless they go for a better measurement.
He doesn't know.
They're gonna get a measurement because the chains.
He doesn't know where the ball is even spotted.
Exactly.
To be able to call the play, if you're the coach, you want to know where are we. And right now, with the way the field is, he doesn't know if they're on the 5-yard line, on the 2-yard line. He wants a better idea of where this ball is spotted.
Spotting and downs are a big story here in Washington from last week in the New York Giant game.
There's no doubt about that. And you can see Andy Reid is on the official saying, hey, you got to let me know where that ball is. That way I know what play to call. And the same thing occurred in the Sunday night game with Mike Shanahan.
That's right. Referees thought it was one down. Shanahan thought it was another.
And it affects your play calling. If it's 1st and 10, you're going to call a different play than if it's a 3rd down play.
They're shy by over a yard. So what will Andy Reid elect to do here? 4th and about 1.5 yards, it appears.
Take the points in this kind of weather, don't you?
Well, he's going to keep the offense on the field.
Wow.
They're going to go for it.
Interesting. I think I'm taking a field goal here. and I know he's on the road. He's trying to protect his defense by getting the lead on the road. You can get out to a 10-0 lead on the road here at the Washington Redskins. It does wonders to help your defense dictate tempo. But I got to believe you take points when you're in this kind of field position and reward the huge punt return by McCluster.
4th down, less than 2, but a lot more than 1.
Remember, this is a poor red zone defense for the Redskins. That's maybe what they're banking on.
Charles, he gets it, knifing his way through, and takes it down to about the 3 on a gain of 2. And a 1st and goal for the Chiefs.
Well, I like the play selection. Andy Reid dialed up a play that allows Jamal Charles to attack the line of scrimmage. Come downhill with the real bad and poor footing in this weather. You don't want to run wide, don't want to run laterally. Attack the line of scrimmage and get positive yards on the play.
1st and goal. It's Charles. And he is in for the touchdown. A late call, but in he goes. And Jamal Charles has now just run over his 10th goal line of the season. 10th rushing touchdown. A 2-yard burst, and the Chiefs have scored on their first 2 possessions today.
It's the same play as before. They just go the other way. They use the tight end. They use the tight end to just come right down the line of scrimmage on the trap block and create a running lane for Jamal Charles.
A 5-play, 13-yard drive. A concern, obviously, to Mike Shanahan, and setting it up. The 48-yard punt return by Dexter McCluster. And Suckup will try to tack on one more. The Chiefs have lost 3 consecutive games at 9-3. Again, winning today with some help from a loss either to Miami or Baltimore are in the playoffs. And it's up in a 10-0 Kansas City advantage. Early in Landover, it's Jamal Charles twisting and turning for 6 for the Chiefs.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The new Windows, one experience for everything in your life. And by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more.
Well, Solomon, even though the elements are not all that good for whoever you look at, whether it be Jamal Charles or the quarterback of the Chiefs, Alex Smith, the offense has played well the last 3 weeks for Kansas City.
Yeah.
They've scored some points, and they have a nice early influence here.
They're more familiar with Andy Reid's offense, so they've improved on offense. He's incorporated more playmakers, and I think their ability to make plays is more diversified, as you saw the special teams play with Dexter McCluster.
From the 10-yard line, Niles Paul. Hemingway had 4 special teams tackles last week, was in there in the vicinity, but it was Ron Parker that brings him down after a 17-yard gain. Here comes RG3 and the Skins. Back in the nation's capital tonight on 60 Minutes, a Navy SEAL story of bravery and survival, plus the people who knew Nelson Mandela best on 60 Minutes tonight. only CBS. A wonderful tribute, moment of silence before our game here in Washington. And regardless of what color your skin, this man meant so much to all people.
Sacrifice, compassion, and forgiveness, part of his lasting legacy, Kevin. Truly great man.
It's a 1st and 10 after the Chiefs have kicked off, and a 2-yard touchdown run by Charles, and running is RG3, and Poe falling on him after a gain of 3 on the play.
Yeah, now Robert Griffin III, he talked about it. He says, look, I threw the ball more my senior year at Baylor than I did in my freshman year. He expects to get better as a pocket passer here within the traditional phase of Shanahan's offense, and he believes that the better he plays from within the pocket, that the coaches will be able to trust him more with doing more things. But we saw in that first drive, he missed the throw to a wide-open Pierre Garçon. He has to be able to execute better behind the line of scrimmage, playing in the pocket.
In the pistol, 2nd down and 7. Nice snap from Montgomery, and here comes Alfred Morris into the secondary. Finally brought down by Kendrick Lewis, working his way, 13-yard pickup, and that is a 1st down.
Well, Alfred Morris, he's validated being the 2nd leading rusher from 1 year ago. He already has this rushing attack on top, #1 in the NFL, and over 1,000 yards now for the season, for the 2nd consecutive time. This kid has really, I think, burst onto the scene, and he deserves more recognition for what he has done for this offense here with the Redskins.
He's over 1,000 again, as he was a season ago. He was a 1,600-yard rusher, setting a franchise record for the Redskins. 1st and 10. Morris again. There is a block by Columbus, the right tackle. He's dragging Tyson Jackson on that line with him for a couple yards. It's a gain of 5 as he moves the ball up. And they are near midfield.
And you notice the kind of runs they're giving Alfred Morris now. Yeah, it was a pitch play. It did go to the outside, but he was able to get wide. And then once he caught the ball from RG3, he was able to attack the line of scrimmage coming down here.
2nd down 5. Morris again. Jackson again. And also hit on the play by Frank Zombo with a gain of a yard. Tyson Jackson, a former #1 high pick out of LSU. Like we said, Zombo taking the place of Justin Houston.
Yeah, but this defense, they've got to do a good job of stopping the run. And then once they do that, they've got to do a better job of getting after the quarterback and protecting, I think, a vulnerable secondary. Dontari Poe, Tyson Jackson, Tamba Hali, they've got to be able to be stout today against the run and then pressure the quarterback.
From the Redskin 48, 3rd down and 3. Chiefs in the nickel. And beautiful catch made. Working on Flowers. Santana Moss makes the grab for the Washington Redskins. He picks up 12. That is a 1st down.
3rd down. Santana Moss seems to be the weapon of choice for RG3. He looked at Santana Moss the entire time, matched up in one-on-one coverage against Brandon Flowers. So much of the talk had been about Marcus Cooper getting beat by Eric Decker 1 week ago, but you know, Brandon Flowers, he gave up his share of plays as well, so they've got to tighten up coverage on the back end in KC.
Roy Halou is intercepted. It's picked off. There goes Derek Johnson in the snow, in the slush, and the other way. And the Chiefs come up with a huge takeaway. They're #2 in the league in that category as Griffin throws the interception, and the Chiefs go the other way. The opportunistic defense, which has been absent the last couple weeks, comes in with a huge one right there.
Well, watch it, Kevin, because Derek Johnson just reads the eyes of RG3. He's looking the entire time here, and he wants to go there, but watch Derek Johnson. He reads him. I mean, it's just reading your mail. He's watching the quarterback. Look, jumps right in the passing lane. That's really easy, but veteran players on the defensive side of the ball can take advantage of young quarterbacks who are already predetermining where they want to go with the football.
Johnson gets his first pick and returns it 42 yards. What a huge play. Chiefs have scored the first 2 times they've had it. It's 1st down and 10 with a block from Stevenson. The run outside by the running back. That's Jamal Charles, who picks up 6 on the play. Jarvis Jenkins got him around the collar.
Remember, we talked about RG3 learning to play from the pocket, and that entails so many different things. Looking off defenders, doing a lot of different things. See, he's looking the entire time. You've got to be able to look off defenders and then come back to where you want to go. You want coverage to dictate where you go with the ball and not just predetermine that, hey, I'm going to throw it to my favorite guy from the time you take the ball from center.
On the 20-yard line, second down and 5. McCluster outside, looking for a block from Bo, and it was not there. And Foyle in the play. Kerrigan, the outside backer, and a loss of a yard.
You know, Alex Smith is one of those quarterbacks, as we see him for Kansas City. Went through a lot of those same growing pains, Kevin. Remember in San Francisco, 8 seasons spent there with 7 different offensive coordinators. We spoke to him about RG3 and some of the struggles. He said, you know, you just need a good team around you, and then with time and the reps that are required to hone your craft at quarterback, you just got to hang in there. And over time, we all believe RG3 could be that special kind of quarterback needed to make plays from the pocket.
Anderson has come in as another defensive back. Third down and 6. Smith. Bo. And there he goes, pinballing into the end zone for a Kansas City touchdown. And the Chiefs cash in a 21-yard catch and run by wide receiver Dwayne Bowe.
Wow. What did Andy Reid tell us about Dwayne Bowe? I'm going to keep dialing him up. He beats D'Angelo Hall at the line of scrimmage. Then watch this. He just bounces off Bakari Rambo to ramble in for a touchdown, beating 2 talented defenders for the Redskins. This is something they've been waiting for from Dwayne Bowe. Andy Reid well pleased of his talented, big-bodied wide receiver.
That's the 5th touchdown reception for Bowe on his 46th catch. 21-yard hit. Suckup will try to tack on one more. And we got some movement on the line. So the offense picking up where they've left off. They've been scoring. They've been going downfield. And even though the elements are not good, we see Smith, the Kansas City quarterback, working well. Robert Griffin throwing an interception to the linebacker for Kansas City, Derek Johnson.
It goes back to week 5 when we saw him, Kevin. We thought this was an offense that could average 30 a game.
Neutral zone infraction, number 64 defense. His movement into the neutral zone caused a reaction by the offense. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Chiefs cashing in. Mike Shanahan, who has, like we said before at the top of the broadcast, made some headlines today, which we will get into. A 3-play, 25-yard drive, minute and a half off the clock. Johnson with the pick, and Bowe with the catch, and the broken tackle run into the end zone. And the Chiefs have scored 17 points in the first quarter. The defense and offense both getting a hand, and special teams. Here was the pick by the terrific linebacker Derek Johnson. And then Dwayne Bowe popping in for 6.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Holiday savings on the gifts everyone wants. And by Macy's.
Three Kansas City possessions. All 3 phases have had their fingerprints on this game. McCluster returning a punt for 48. Johnson, the linebacker, with an interception, setting up an Alex Smith touchdown pass. They're all getting their hands on it today.
Offense, defense, special teams for Andy Reid. They've played on a short field, too, as a result of the punt return and the interception return, and they've scored on both possessions.
Suckup to Paul. He's a converted tight end who works his way through traffic and then brought down by Demps. 29-yard return. Here comes RG3, last time out there, threw a pick.
Welcome back to our nation's capital, where the Chiefs are out on top 17-0. Look at the starting drive today for Kansas City on their 3 possessions. Their average starting drive begins at the Washington 35-yard line, Kevin. Of course, they average the best field position in the National Football League. The Redskins, the worst in the NFL.
Makes things easier, doesn't it? Alfred Morris on 1st and 10. And hit on the play by Akeem Jordan and others. And a gain of 3 on the play. The Chiefs have had more starts on a short field than any other team, any other offense in the NFL.
Isn't that their formula, at least for the first 9 weeks? They're getting back to the kind of swagger that they played with during that 9-game win streak. Of course, they've lost their last 3. They came here to Washington ready to get back on track. What did Alex Smith tell us? This is our opportunity to get our 10th win. This is a team that won only 2 games 1 year ago.
It's a remarkable turnaround. 2nd down and 7. Griffin to Morris. And was finally chased down by Jordan on a gain of 5. And there's Tyson Jackson once again chasing him. Gain of 5 on the play. Which takes us to the end of the first quarter. Reed has gotten it from all 3 phases. Griffin has thrown a pick, and it's a 17-0 Kansas City lead. Start in the second quarter. We've heard of some unrest between the head coach Mike Shanahan and his quarterback. We woke up this morning with an advancement on that story.
Yeah, there was an article that appeared today, and much to do about Mike Shanahan had his office cleaned out and ready to quit after the season had concluded. After winning their first division title in 12 years, there's being reports now that he was ready to leave the job. I have it on good authority talking to people here that at that time, entering that playoff game against Seattle, that his office had not been cleared out. So you've got a huge disconnect between what stories are being reported and what really happened.
In the second quarter, and they got him! Nice tackle right there by Tamba Hali, who makes the grab, his 10th sack, 72nd of his career. It's a loss of 2. It was a 2nd and 17. There was no play because a flag was thrown while we were away. It was a hold. They redid it now, 3rd and 19.
And Kevin, let's go back to that story because, you know, there were some claims that the owner's much tight or too tight with his quarterback. I think Jerry Jones had a good relationship with Troy Aikman, did he not? And I'm sure Pat Bowlen, John Elway, who's now the president of that team, I think it's quite natural for an owner and a quarterback, when he's your special franchise guy, to have a great relationship. 7
defensive backs. They dump it off. It's caught by Evan Royster, who is hit well shy of the first down. Hit on the play by Johnson. Cooper was there along with Zombo. It is a 4-yard gain. And that is not a good sign, as Royster has come up lame, holding on to what appeared to be his left ankle. And that's a 3-and-out for the Redskins, who will punt once we get through this injury to Royster, who is the all-time leading Penn State running back.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. It's coming out in the flat. It's right there. Oh, he took a blow to the lower leg. His ankle's being twisted and mangled. Right there. See right there?
It's stuck.
It's kind of caught in the turf there with weight of a defender on it.
You were getting the feeling last night talking about the Chiefs and their defense that they were taking it almost as a personal affront that they had been taking a lot of criticism nationally over the last 3 weeks.
This was a team, they're a proud team. You remember, lots of Pro Bowlers. You saw the play by Derek Johnson. We spoke with him, spoke with Eric Berry, and they said they wanted to really get back to having practice at the speed of games. You said, hey, we got to get to having game time speed in our practices. They went back to that this week, really contesting. They felt like they were shredded in the last 2 games against Denver, and of course the game against San Diego with Phillip Rivers. Only 1 sack from the likes of Tamba Hali in this defensive front in their last 4 ball games.
There's an injury timeout. They still look at Royster just into the second quarter from Landover. Well, not a good sign. There's Evan Royster, who is being taken off, hurt the left ankle, and really struggled to get to the sideline. Here's the punt by Rocca. And McCluster is deep back. At a 48-yard return before, finds another gap, and slides his way downfield. Takes it to about the 41-yard line of the Redskins. It's a 24-yard return by Dexter McCluster of the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the top punt returners in the NFL. So, and listening to your story, it sounds like there's a fracture somewhere in here.
It's not my story, because this story came out, remember, earlier during the day, but yet it seems to be some disconnect. You got to think, though, Daniel Snyder's giving this coaching staff just about everything they need to succeed. They traded a ton away of picks to get RG3. We've seen the beautiful facility and building an indoor practice facility, changed a brand new dining room. You'd think they have everything they need here to succeed as a football team.
Second tight end is in. That's Dominic Jones, signed off the practice squad. Low and sliding and scooped in by Bowe. Working on Hall. 16-yard catch and a first down for the Chiefs.
And what we have, Kevin, because both teams come in with a losing streak. The Redskins have lost 4 in a row. The Chiefs have lost 3 in a row. The Chiefs clearly are coming in here on the attack, playing aggressive, coming right at this defense. And Andy Reid has his team on the warpath here right now, coming at this Redskins football team. You can see what they've done with their first 3 possessions of the game, where they've scored on all 3.
At the Redskin 25. First and 10. Charles. And brought down by Perry Riley Jr., the leading tackler. And a gain of 4 on the play down to the 21.
No, I love the play calling. I love the way that they're playing. Dexter McCluster has been a world beater on special teams, setting this offense up again on the short side of the field. That's where they played all day. And this defense for the Redskins have had to play with their backs to their goal line. Right now, Alex Smith is looking to put more points on the board here in the first half.
It's Smith with a second down and 6. In space, Charles. He's got the first down. But knocked out of bounds by Josh Wilson across the way. He's inside the 10. He goes for 13.
Kevin, this is a great play design. Watch Ryan Kerrigan come here, and then they pitch it outside to get outside of him. That's just the setup. They leaving unblocked with a sort of option play from Alex Smith to Jamal Charles. If you leave a talented player like Ryan Kerrigan unblocked and still get outside to make a play, it's just a great play design.
It's Brett Favre's one-time backup. Doug Peterson came from Philadelphia with Andy Reid. First and goal at the 8. Charles slipping and sliding his way for about 4 yards, 3 yards. Dowdy came in to knock him at the 4-yard line of the Redskins. Chiefs have scored every time they've had the ball today.
Oh, they have. And they've been playing on that short field that we talked about. They come in today's game with an average of the best field position of any team in the NFL. And there you see Andy Reid dialing up those plays to put more points on the board. This offense has been explosive over the last 3 weeks.
Charles atop your screen, one of 5 receivers. Second down and goal at the 5. Smith, Charles, and a sweep block inside by Fisher. That is a 5-yard touchdown catch and run by Jamal Charles, his second touchdown today.
What did Andy Reid tell us? He said Jamal Charles is one of those players we want to get him out in space. If we can get him out in space, we can minimize the pounding he takes, but then allow him to function. And look, they block it well. And look at the right tackle. Look, that's Fisher getting over there, getting the key block. Number 72 to spring, of course, Jamal Charles and get him into the end zone. He can run it, he can catch it, and boy, can he find the end zone.
So Charles with the 3rd receiving touchdown for him this year, 10th of his career. The 2-time Pro Bowler from 5 yards away. Suck up, making it 24-0. The Kansas City Chiefs. Just into the second quarter, Charles has done it on the ground and through the air. Second touchdown pass by quarterback Alex Smith.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, in theaters everywhere December 13th. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. And by the redesigned Honda Odyssey. Honda, start something special.
Good-looking drive set up by the 24-yard punt return by Dexter McCluster. Bo caught one for 16. Charles ran one for 13. And finally Smith with his second touchdown pass, a 5-yarder to Jamal Charles. An elite offensive player and one of the most dominant stat guys right now in the NFL in terms of offense. The ensuing kickoff from the 7, Niles Paul with a beat on him. Nice play. Special teams, Ron Parker makes the move. Guy was waved by the Seahawks and picked up by John Dorsey, the Chiefs GM. 8-yard return. Got a sports fan on your gift list? Avoid the crowds and get free shipping when you shop this weekend on CBSSports.com. Take advantage of the special offer now at CBSSports.com/holiday. Josh Bellamy was holding on the play. He was with the Chiefs on their roster a season ago. Now with the Redskins and called right there.
All right, an even worse field position. Something this offense for the Redskins has been battling all year. And they just got to be careful with the ball. It's going to be more difficult for a quarterback like RG3 to make plays from the pocket. Now this pass rush can pin their ears back and come after your quarterback.
Marooned at the 7. RG3 with a first down and 10. Here comes the rush from Jackson. There goes the ball incomplete. Second down and 10. They were aiming for the tight end, Fred Davis.
Well, a lot of pressure in the face. Dontari Poe right in the face of RG3, forced to get rid of it. Did throw the ball in front of an intended receiver, but watch as he turns around. There's Poe right there. He wanted to go down the field where it looks like he had Paulson, but he's just forced to get rid of it. You can't risk taking a sack there or throwing another interception.
Nice play by Tyson Jackson. 2nd down and 10. Morris looking stagger with the block. And he runs into the defense of Eric Berry with a 6-yard gain right there and a little shove, as we can see. And the Chiefs think they got it. Boy, the Chiefs are after everybody. The Redskins, the officials. And it was dug out that time by Kendrick Lewis. And as it begins to snow again, let's go to James Brown in our CBS studios in New York.
The correct play calls in the snow.
Yes, this is a running play. Joik Bell goes in, 2-yard touchdown, and they don't want to kick the extra point, so they go for 2, and they throw it to Joik Bell for a 2-point conversion. 8-0, Detroit in the snow.
All right, Kevin and Sally, you got to let me in on that one.
Weren't you watching? That referee was like a Ringling Brothers circus here. 2nd, 3rd down and 4 in the scrambling Griffin. Trying to go as the ball jar 3. Dempsey's got it. Flag is down. It's a touchdown.
Wow. And RG3 believes he was down. He was extending that ball, Kevin. Looked like he hit the ground before it came out. He was extending it, trying to get it to the 1st down marker. He's going to come up short. But I was surprised they didn't call him down on contact.
Carl Jeffers is our referee. Obviously, every scoring play reviewed.
Holding number 71 offense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, touchdown.
Trent Williams is the left tackle called, and they'll review it, obviously.
Let's see if he's down. Right. See, right now, isn't he down by contact right there?
Yep, he's down.
Then the ball comes out. And that's why I was surprised they didn't call him down by contact. That's clearly a tackle. He's now down. He sticks the ball out.
Yep.
Then it comes out.
Two cheeks equal a foot.
We saw that firsthand. They have to do a better job of determining that initially. Shouldn't have to challenge that one. Of course, they would review it anyway, right?
Exactly.
Previous play is under review.
All right, they'll look at that. It will not be a touchdown, and we will step aside. His backside is down. So they're reviewing to see if Robert Griffin III did indeed fumble the ball or if he was down. Demps vacuumed it in and took it in.
It's close. What do you think, Kev?
I think it's
After review,
Redskins
the
ball.
runner was down by contact at the 16-yard line. It'll be 4th and 1 or 3rd down, depending on if we enforce the holding call.
You just trying to do a little snow angel there, huh?
That's all. I thought this was quite clear, though, from beginning at first glance. It was very clear. Didn't even know if you really needed to review it, but it's always best to get it right.
This is the 2nd consecutive 3-and-out for the Washington Redskins. McCluster, that has been an adventure for these Redskins to try to stop him. McCluster has had punt returns of 24 and 48 yards today. Setting up scores both times.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is kick it down the middle of the field, a low line driver. Dexter McCluster is going to be on your side of the 50-yard line once again.
There was a hold by the left tackle, Trent Williams. It was declined by Kansas City. No wind to deal with, but you can see the snow. And they are big, heavy flakes. Rocca. And he sends McCluster all the way back to about the 26-yard line. Looking for a block. Here he goes again. Cooper throws a beauty. And there he goes. McCluster by Rocca. He's chased by Paulson. And into the end zone. That is a Kansas City touchdown.
Wow. These are probably the poorest display of special teams in one half of football I think I've ever seen. And Dexter McCluster was ready to go. I mean, that one I thought was not a bad punt by Rock. I don't know that we could put that one on him, but the coverage was really not good. He actually kicked it, look, over to the left side. I like to see it a little closer to the sideline, but he had great hang time. Well, look, there's not one maroon jersey even close to Dexter McCluster. No one's getting off blocks, and then they can't catch him. That's just poor coverage on the punt by the Washington Redskins. And look at Alex Smith. He said, you mean we're getting points and the offense isn't on the field?
That's the third punt return for a touchdown allowed by the Skins special teams. McCluster having a remarkable day, and it just mounts for Mike Shanahan, the Redskins head coach. What a day returning punts for McCluster. It's 31-0. The Chiefs making a resounding and distinct statement in the nation's capital today. McCluster has been a hero, and the Chiefs are running away.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by K Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. And by the new Intel-powered 2-in-1s. Intel. Look inside.
Dexter McCluster has already put in and registered the most prolific punt return game in the history of the Kansas City Chiefs. 158 yards, a long of 74 moments ago for a touchdown. The previous high, 141, J.T. Smith against the Raiders in late September of '79. So history here for the Chiefs, and crushing the Skins. And from about the 8-yard line, it's Paul. He's grabbed from behind, hit by Sherman, the tight end, and others, including Hemingway. 18-yard return.
Oh, he has been on fire. As red hot as his uniform. They can't touch him. They can't tackle him. His quickness and combination of speed and good vision down the field allow him to have some electrifying returns so far in this game. We're still in the first half. And as you mentioned, Kevin, a record-setting 158 yards in return, including the 74-yard home run for a touchdown. They had taken one score off the board, and now he puts it back on it. 31-0. What a great start for the Chiefs.
Here comes Griffin, down by 31. With the 1st and 10. And the rush, a second sack for Tamba Hali, who comes up the middle. Hali has just passed Art Still in terms of sacks. He has 73.5 in his career, and registering his second one right there in a loss of 5.
Take a look at him. He's working against, look at this. This is just Columbus, who had been beaten terribly by Justin Tuck 1 week ago, and now he allows Hali to come in and get the sack. RG3 went down 5 times in the second half of last week's game against the Giants.
Second down and 15, quick slant, and grabbed on the play by Garcon. Hit by Sean Smith, 10-yard gain on the play. So the Chiefs putting some fingerprints of this season on the record book and moving up. Not the all-time sacker, certainly, but passing Art Still. And you know a little bit about him. He was a formidable force on that Kansas City defensive line.
At times, he was unblockable. What a big guy who could run. And he was a load coming off the line of scrimmage, chasing quarterbacks.
No Justin Houston, no problem for the Chiefs today against the Redskins. 3rd down and 5. Blocked by Williams. Oh, and they come up the middle. That's Eric Berry. He rockets through for his 3rd sack of the season. It's a loss of 8. Everything that could go wrong for the Redskins and everything that could go right for the Chiefs happening today.
Watch him here. They don't even account for him, Kevin. Watch this. He waits, and then he just comes right in. Look, as Roy Halou turns in, and they just bring Eric Berry in scot-free, get on top of the quarterback. If you don't protect the quarterback in the pocket, there's no way he can improve.
3rd consecutive 3-and-out for the Redskins. Rocca, where's he going to punt to now? It's McCluster back. He set a Chiefs single game record today. Sliding right there, Dowdy. He'll get him. Gets some nice pursuit downfield, a loss of a yard, and that brings some mock applause from the crowd. Hali did it before Berry, who shoots right through, brings down RG3, and the Chiefs making a statement. Well, coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report from our CBS studios in New York, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for the latest news, scores, and highlights. That's all next. From New York, the Verizon Halftime Report. Well, this will be the first time in 18 plays the Chiefs have not run a play in Redskin territory. They'll begin it here with a first down and 10 from the 36. Bo with 3 catches today. A touchdown, 59 yards. Charles with a couple of touchdowns, and right around the helmet, brought down on the play by Jarvis Jenkins on a gain of 5.
Just an excellent run. This offensive line and that zone blocking scheme allowed to get Charles to the second level. He hits it quickly and cleanly, and just rips off a nice chunk. You can see 21 offensive plays for both teams, but look at the total yards. By far, huge advantage for Kansas City.
Running back is Cyrus Gray. There's a second down and 5. Nice catch right there. Cutting inside, making the move to the 48-yard line of the Redskins. That is Junior Hemingway. It's a pickup of 11. He had a nice touchdown catch last week. It's a 1st and 10.
And there's a look at your playoff picture. The Kansas City Chiefs looking to clinch here today. They need Baltimore to lose their game. And, of course, either that or a loss by Miami. And plus, the Chiefs got to take care of business. So far, they're holding up their end of the deal, looking for their 10th win of the season. But they need to win and get a loss from either Baltimore or Miami.
Charles back in with the 1st and 10 with the block from his fullback Sherman. He was eventually brought down on the play again by Clemson's Jarvis Jenkins on a gain and 6. Look at Andy Reid. You know, they changed the GM. They get John Dorsey. They get the new head coach. They get the quarterback in a trade with San Francisco. And those 3 things, along with inheriting 6 Pro Bowlers, it makes a difference.
And there's still a lot of doubters out there about this Kansas City Chiefs team after losing, of course, 3 in a row. But remember, they were to the likes of the Denver Broncos and a red-hot Peyton Manning and a red-hot Phillip Rivers. You play those 2 quarterbacks in 3 consecutive weeks, you might come out on the short end.
Second down and 5, 7 consecutive completions. This is McCluster. Forced out of bounds by the defensive back, Josh Wilson. They get a first down. It's a pickup of 10. McCluster doing it every way today.
And the one area where they had dropped off during those 3 weeks, we talk about Andy Reid's offense, scoring more points. They averaged 33 points a game in each of their last 2 contests, but they had not been getting pressure on the quarterback, had not been getting sacks, 1 sack in their last 4 games. But today, already in the first half, they've sacked the quarterback twice, and they're making plays in all phases of the game.
Hard to find the drive when you're down 31-0.
Wow, you're right about that one.
First down and 10. Caught by Donnie Avery. And he works his way close to a first down, gain of about 8. London Fletcher was right there. But really, I mean, where's the motivation for a team that midway through the second quarter is down by 31 points?
The motivation is understanding what your job is. The motivation is understanding that you're constantly under evaluation. London Fletcher, one of the captains and leaders on this team, he talked about it. They have to continue to improve and get better. You're under evaluation either for this current coaching staff or if there's going to be a new coaching staff coming in here to coach this team. Mike Shanahan evaluating the performance of every single player on the field and how they behave in this position.
In the nickel, second down and 3. No place to run or hide for Charles. Kerrigan out of Purdue saw to that, makes the stop, loss of 3. And so now the Chiefs will have it third down and about 6 yards to go.
Ryan Kerrigan's one of those players going to continue to give you effort. You know, you can grade execution, but effort and energy is really what coaches look for. They determine who's the best leaders. I mean, that's kind of determined in the midst of adversity. And this team has dealt with a lot of it, having lost 4 consecutive games.
2 tight ends set. Jones along with McGrath. Fasano inactive with a concussion. Suffered last week against the Broncos. 3rd and 6. Up the middle they come with Baker. Incomplete, looking for Avery. Up the middle shooting was Chris Baker, a second-year player out of Hampton. Foils it right there, and the Chiefs will face 4th down.
Watch, they just turn Baker loose right here. Come right in the face of Alex Smith. And look, turn him loose. They don't even touch him. And Smith's smart enough. Sometimes quarterbacks have to save themselves. You got to be able to see that unblocked defender. Don't get caught holding the football. Just throw it away and save yourself.
Suckup is going to try a 47-yarder today. He's already knocked one through from 33. 47-yard try for Ryan Suckup. Oh, and it's a fake and it's a pooch. And he sends it down. Will it stick? It does not. Rolling into the end zone and the 20-yard line and a 29-yard pooch punt by Ryan Suckup.
Well, Kevin, you know, young quarterbacks, they've got to learn to be able to play the position from the pocket. How about Cam Newton? He's improved his play from the pocket, and it's made the Panthers a bona fide winner in Carolina. We've seen the growing pains play Colin Kaepernick as he's learning to read and play the quarterback position from the pocket. And Russell Wilson, he's quickly evolved and now flourishing and making timely throws from the pocket in Seattle. And in 2 years, Andrew Luck has mastered the comfort and confidence needed to play from the pocket. And I got to tell you, the wounded and less than 100% Robert Griffin III, he's now learning that. He missed an entire offseason rehabbing that knee injury, did not have the time to develop, but he wants to use these final 4 games to accomplish that and improve his play, playing behind the line of scrimmage from the pocket.
It's a 1st and 10. Ali trying to strip it out of Alfred Morris's grasp, and it's a gain of 2. It's so funny, this time a year ago, Redskins were the talk of the NFL, went on this great December run. The pistol, the running, read option, whatever you want to call it, was, instituted here for him, and it was so successful.
It helped them lead the league in rushing 1 year ago. They still continue to lead the league in rushing. But where they need to evolve the offense is Robert Griffin III, his ability to play from behind the pocket and make timely throws and get the ball to his wide receiver.
2nd down and 8. They're going to pinch him. Holly just about had his 3rd sack. Here comes Zombo. Here goes the pass. And it's caught by Niles Paul. Converted from a wide receiver to a tight end a couple years ago. Picks up 28. Biggest play today for the Redskins. They got a 1st down.
Robert Griffin III, here he is in the pocket. This is what they want to see. To be able to play in the traditional offense. We know you can run the read option, buying time, but moving even with his vision down the field to find a receiver open. Now watch his movement, good footwork. This is something he was not doing in the earlier part of the season that he's improved upon.
1st and 10. Being chased and smartly running to the sideline. We have not talked about Jordan Reed, who is their good-looking tight end, a 3rd-round pick and a rookie out of Florida, as he loses a yard right there. He is the 2nd leading rookie receiver in the league, although playing tight end, out with a concussion. So Paul is taking on a more significant role in the offense today.
And RG3 told us that, Jordan Reed had become a security blanket for him. Here's a kid that's one of the best rookie receivers, even as a tight end, coming into the league. So, I want to see from RG3 the continuing the ability to fight to improve his skills at the quarterback position without running around.
2nd down and 11. And that is caught across the way. Aldrick Robinson working inside. Nice catch and run.
Oh, this is what we get. You saw him move his head around. He went through his progression, hung in the pocket, and found the open receiver. Really good play by the quarterback.
And the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Redskins have all 3 of their timeouts, trailing 31-zip. They got it 1st down and 10 over the 2nd play. The Redskins have run in Chiefs territory today from about the 24. That's a wobbler, but caught. Nice grab made by Aldrick Robinson. Brought down by Flowers. Hit on the play by Kendrick Lewis. And Robinson had a 30-yard catch and run moments ago. Picks up 18 right there through the air.
What did RG3 tell us? Sometimes I'm going to throw it high. The receivers have to make a great catch. And sometimes I'm going to throw it and they may drop it. I have to learn to be patient. That was a high ball thrown, but what an excellent catch on the play.
So it's a 1st and goal for the Redskins with a couple tight ends from the 6. Alfred Morris, a block by Polson, and wrapped up by Mike DeVito on the play, among others, and a loss of a yard. I just got a great text from former Chief and former Redskin quarterback Trent Green. You and I were talking about what do you do when you're down 31-0. He said in 1998, when I was with the Redskins, we were down 31-0 in the 2nd quarter. The Redskins then scored a touchdown in the next 6 consecutive possessions, ultimately losing by 3. But it's been done before.
They're down 31-0. We're in the 2nd quarter.
Right.
And they have the ball knocking on the door. And this is good as RG3 has looked all day, starting to settle in. More importantly, he's getting protection and time to throw from the pocket, and he's finding open receivers, and he's completing passes.
Redskins call a timeout, so Trent, thank you very much. Trent living in the Kansas City area. His son is a terrific high school quarterback.
He's a terrific guy, and certainly he's been there, and he's done that for both of these football teams.
Second and goal at the 7. Palou is in. Griffin, the block by Trent Williams. Oh, and what a catch! Paulson, was he in? Yes, sir! That is a Redskin touchdown. A 7-yard throw with a beautiful pass lassoed by tight end Logan Paulson.
Wow. Look at RG3. Now watch his hand and watch his footwork. He puts this ball to the back of the end zone over Derek Johnson, so he had to put it up high. And Paulson rewards him by stabbing the front end of the ball and hauling it in for a touchdown. See, if you stop the front end, it'll come down to you, Kevin. And then he gets both feet in bounds. Great protection, good throw from RG3, and even a better catch from Paulson in the back of the end zone.
Paulson had a 19-yard touchdown reception last week here against the Giants. And a lot of Redskin fans remember the touchdown he caught in the playoffs here last year against Seattle. 7-play, 80-yard drive.
Trent Green may be on to something.
With the extra point here by Kai Forbath. It's 31-7. The shutout is gone. 67 seconds remain in the first half. There is no quit. Never has been in the Heisman Trophy winner out of Baylor. Robert Griffin III to his tight end for 6. Coming up on the Verizon halftime report from our CBS studios, James Brown and company for the scores, the highlights, and the news you want of a very busy Week 14 in the NFL. That's coming up on the Verizon halftime report from our CBS studios in New York. It looks like more rain now, Solomon, than snow, and they expected this freezing rain throughout the day.
Well, the field is still going to be a little sloppy, as you see the numbers with RG3, 4 for 4. On the 80-yard touchdown drive, he's got to make more plays from the pocket. Not going to be a whole lot of footing to run around and be able to cut on the dime and make plays. It's one of those games you got to make more plays with your arm than you do with your legs.
Here comes Demps on the kickoff. He finds a seam. Forbath can't get him. Now he's chased by Wilson. A block ahead. It's thrown by Davis. A great cut inside. That is a touchdown. 95 yards.
Wow.
And the second special teams touchdown today as they are living right in Washington this afternoon.
This is incredible. Steve Taub, the special teams coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, he's just smiling. He said, I don't know what we're doing right. Maybe they're doing everything right. Look, they set the wall, and look at Demps. Look, that's just a poor effort by the kicker for the Redskins. They don't slow him down. Look here. Turns him back into the other guys, and you've got to get him out of bounds there. You've got to be able to get him out of bounds. He's one step away. E.J. Biggers, number 30. Look right here. Now, you don't even pull his flag, and he doesn't even step out. So Biggers can't get him. Robinson, 34, couldn't get him. And Alex Smith saying, wow, points come easy when you do things right.
Extra point. Suck up, and the snowballs are being thrown. It's 38-7. The Chiefs, 53 seconds to play. This Taub is one of the best special teams coaches in the NFL, and he was brought in by Andy Reid, and he has put his fingerprints all over the Kansas City special teams, amongst the best in the NFL.
We're seeing plays executed to perfection by Taub and his special teams group. See, they're talking to Demps. What an incredible play. Niall Davis, a kick return for a touchdown, longest play in team history 1 week ago by these special teams against the Denver Broncos. And they continue to provide more potent plays and points for this football team today.
Here's what the Chiefs have done on special teams and miscellaneous scoring, where they're number 1 in the NFL. They've returned 2 punts for touchdowns. They've recovered 2 fumbles and taken those in for touchdowns. They've had 2 kick return touchdowns. They've had 4 interception return for touchdowns. That's how they have done it outside their offense. And a terrific season in terms of what they've done, certainly on special teams.
Isn't it a testament, though, to Andy Reid, his ability to bring together players and coaches who are good teachers and create a phenomenal football team? You can see the numbers today and what the Chiefs special teams have done.
All right, this is Paul at about the 9-yard line for the Washington Redskins. Hit by Sherman, squeezes by him, chased by the running back Davis, and Hemingway, and out of bounds he goes as Niall Davis rides him out. 39-yard return. Hey fans, with the playoff races heating up, download NFL Mobile to get live video access to exclusive premium content on your smartphone. Call ** NFL to download or go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Message and data rates that may apply. 2 timeouts remaining for the Washington Redskins, 3 for the Chiefs, and very nice beginning field position here at about the 48-yard line, where it is 1st and 10 for Robert Griffin III. Halou is in the backfield with him. It's Pierre Garçon, Paulson with the block, and Poe with the tackle on a gain of 5, a catch and run of 5, and down to the Kansas City 48.
Boy, can Dontari Poe at 345, can he move for a big man? He's lined up on the line of scrimmage. He gets out on the perimeter and tackle a very swift and quick Pierre Garçon. Look at this, number 92. Look, he's going to be lined up here. I've never seen a big man move this fast so quickly in space. Look at this. Gets up and chase him down. It's like a rhino chasing down a deer. It's just, this is a big guy who can move, and he had numbers that were off the charts at the scouting combine when he was coming out of Memphis. That's why he was taken in the 1st round, and boy, has he become a playmaker for the Chiefs.
2nd down, long 5. Cooper is in, as you can see, so extra defensive backs for the Chiefs. Halou remains in back of Garçon with the coverage on the play by Smith.
That's a misfire by Robert Griffin III, throwing that ball behind Pierre Garçon. I think Garçon does a good job of knocking it down, because those are plays that can be intercepted. When you misfire, they could turn into an interception and a pick 6 in no time flat.
3rd down, long 5 for the Redskins. Scored the last time they had it. 7-yard touchdown pass to the tight end, Paulson. Chiefs are multiple in the secondary. 3rd and a long 5. Griffin. Caught by Santana Moss. Right in front of Marcus Cooper. That is a 1st down. And a pickup of 9.
And watch the timing throw by RG3. He goes there. See, he looks inside, then he goes outside. So he holds Marcus Cooper, who could not get over in time to prevent the reception over to Santana Moss.
1st down and 10. With a timeout to play here in the last stages of the 1st half. Griffin, and caught by Aldrick Robinson at about the 32 of the Chiefs on a pickup of 7. Robinson had a catch and run earlier of 30 and 18 on that last drive. They'll spike it, making it 3rd and 3. Well, do you have enough time here for a play with 7 seconds to go?
I think you got time for one play. You got time to take a shot to the end zone, and you better get it off real quickly. 7 seconds usually gives you time for about one play down the field. You don't want to throw it, of course, in the middle of the field, but you do have one timeout. I don't know that you have time to throw the ball down the field in the middle and still get that timeout called in time.
It's a 3rd down and 3 for Robert Griffin III. And
First
a timeout.
Timeout, Kansas City. 30-second timeout.
Chiefs will think about that with our 7 seconds to play. And we'd like to remind you, Thursday on CBS, Academy Award winner Robin Williams and Sarah Michelle Gellar star in a new episode of The Crazy Ones. Thursday at 9, 8 Central only. CBS. This has been a very big weekend in the state of Missouri, and of course Kansas, Sporting Kansas City, winning the MLS Cup in a shootout yesterday on the Kansas side, just off the state line, but they're a Kansas City area MLS team. The MLS soccer is very big here in the Washington area. The Missouri Tigers were in the SEC championship game, which you saw on CBS, and the basketball team upset number 18 UCLA at Mizzou Arena in Columbia. Now the Chiefs steamrolling the Skins, and that was almost picked off on a 3rd and 3, and Cooper had his mitts on it and could not grab it.
It's the same play on the other side when he went to Pierre Garçon on the slant play. I said, if you're late, usually that pass is picked off. See, he's high on this one, and if Cooper makes the catch, he's got himself an interception and room to run, and maybe he returns that one for a touchdown.
Forbath comes out, and he's going to try a 50-yarder with the rain falling, the freezing rain falling. His career long is 50. He'll be trying a 50-yarder here. Rocket a hole, and it's got the distance, and it is good. Kai Forbath from 50 yards away, and a 28-point Kansas City lead at halftime. That's the end of the first half. Dexter McCluster has been terrific. Alex Smith with 2 touchdown passes. We're back with the Verizon halftime report. You're watching the NFL on. And there he goes, pinballing into the end zone for a Kansas City touchdown. And there he goes, McCluster by Rocca. He's chased by Paulson and into the end zone.
That's right, you got me shaking.
That's just part of our first half. Here in Washington, the Chiefs lead by 4 touchdowns, which has made the Washington faithful groan. Dexter McCluster off the Sav Rocca punt, racing the other way. And football like you've never heard it, presented to you by Sonos. Chiefs have no turnovers today. They have played outstanding football in every phase of the game.
Yeah, it's been all 3 phases, as you mentioned, and really the much maligned defense kind of came out and set the tone. You love what Derek Johnson's able to do, picking off RG3 and putting his offense in good field position for Alex Smith to get the ball over to Dwayne Bowe. Alex Smith already 2 touchdown passes in the game, and then how about Dexter McCluster setting sail on a 74-yard punt return, set a new team record, 158 yards of return in the first half alone. So they've gotten it done. Offense, defense, special teams. It's been a complete domination by the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure they're looking for more in the second half. And the Redskins, they've got to recover. RG3 has to begin to make plays, and the defense has to begin to come away with some stops.
Chiefs haven't given up any sacks. They've not been penalized. And Suckup sets to kick it off. Niles Paul is back inside the 5. Freezing rain continues to fall from the 4. Here comes Paul. And tripped up. Looked like Parker again got a hand on him on a 23-yard return. So now down 38-10. Robert Griffin III is back out there. And here are some of the highlighters from what was a devastatingly good Kansas City first half.
Yeah, Dexter McCluster, 60-yard punt return. That set up their first touchdown. Then Derek Johnson hit 40-yard interception return. He set up a field goal. Dexter McCluster scored himself on a 74-yarder. And then Quentin Demps on a kick return for a touchdown at 95 yards. Andy Reid's group has been completely dominant in the first half. Now it's up to RG3 to get his team back into motion and back into a groove on offense.
And the starters for both sides are out there to start the second half. Griffin with pressure from behind and in front, and finds the pass to the side looking for Garçon. His coverage by Brandon Flowers.
First half possessions for this Washington Redskins offense has not been good. You see they've punted some 4 times. Then the interception did score a touchdown on an 80-yard drive. RG3 went 4 for 4 on the drive, and then a field goal to end the half. Hopefully they'll be able to pick off in the second half where they left off in the first.
With the second down and 10, this is Alfred Morris, who is Brought down, DeVito was there, but Tamba Hali is the one to make the initial tackle. Tamba's got 2 sacks today. It's a gain of 3. He's up near the 30.
No, this offense, though, for Washington, they've been inept over the last 4 games. They've only scored 2 touchdowns in the second half of their last 4 ball games. Now faced with 3rd and 7, is up to Robert Griffin III to manipulate the defense. I think he's got to begin to look off defenders. On that interception in the first half by Derek Johnson, he completely read the eyes of RG3, led him to an interception and a 40-yard return.
Chiefs have put in 7 defensive backs. Moss on the move. 3rd down and 7 for Griffin. Halou picked up one of the blitzers, but 2 were coming, and that means he had to throw it away. Looking for Moss. Coverage by Demps. 3 and out to begin the second half for the Redskins.
Oh, they turned him loose on the quarterback, didn't they? Tamba Hali coming into the backfield along with Brandon Flowers. They did not pick it up. RG3 forced to just throw that one into the bleachers. They've got to do a better job of setting the protection and giving their quarterback time.
It's the 4th 3 and out for the Redskins. Rocca will punt. McCluster back at about the 28-yard line. 4 punt, good bounce. And here comes McCluster again, dancing his way free and takes it near midfield before he is whacked and brought down on the play by Josh Hull. 18-yard return for McCluster. McCluster just had an 18-yard punt return. You can see the NFL record for punt return yardage in a game, 207. For the former Los Angeles Ram, Leroy Irvin, who also played his college football at Kansas. 1st down and 10 from the 48. Pistol formation, block by Fisher. Incomplete, almost right there by Hall. They were looking downfield for McCluster. 2nd down and 10.
D'Angelo Hall did a good job of undercutting that route by Dexter McCluster. Alex Smith threw the ball very nicely, nearly squeezed it in a very tight hole. The veteran, look, he looks off, though. I love the way he looks off, and you can see number 23, D'Angelo Hall, undercutting the route, able to get a hand on it and knock it away.
It's a 2nd down and 10. Jamal Charles, Brian Orakpo. And no gain on the play.
A couple of things about the first half possessions for Kansas City. They played on a short field. Look at all those drives, Kevin. 52 yards field goal, 13-yard drive for a touchdown, 25-yard drive, and then a 41-yard drive, all beginning on the Washington Redskins side of the field. And then look at that, 35 yards in a punt. But it's easy for Andy Reid's offense when they're playing on a short field, all set up by great play of their special teams.
3rd down, 10. See, trips right. 5 in the secondary for the Skins. This is the block at the right tackle. It's caught by McCluster, and right there at the stop was Josh Wilson. It is a gain of 4 on 3rd and 10. They got to punt the ball. What do you think the message from Reid to his team was at halftime, leading 38-10 at the intermission?
Let's go on and let's pour it on, and let's play like a playoff team. I think that's what you have to do. After losing 3 in a row, you know, this is a team that's gone on a lot of streaks. Remember last year, they lost a lot of consecutive games. They begin this season with a 9-game winning streak and then another 3-game losing streak. You've got to begin to learn how to win consistently, and it starts with, even if you're up by 28 points at half, you come out and put together a winning performance.
Colquitt will punt. First 3 and out for the Kansas City Chiefs today. Santana Moss, he is deep back for the Redskins inside the 10 with freezing rain. Ooh, takes a nice bite there, and then it was off the fingertips and into the end zone on a 47-yard punt. They were racing. And down there leading the brigade was Junior Hemingway. Another try for Robert Griffin III here in the 3rd.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Bank of America. And by Kelley Blue Book. Everything you need to make a smart new car decision is at kbb.com.
Well, the freezing rain has picked up here in the 3rd quarter. Griffin has missed his last 4 pass attempts. Lines up in the pistol. With the 1st and 10 from the 20 after the Kansas City punt. The first of the day for the Chiefs. Underneath and incomplete. Johnson was there. and they were going for Fred Davis. Hey, tomorrow on CBS, Melissa McCarthy and Billy Gardell star in a new episode of the hit comedy Mike and Molly. That's tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on CBS. 2nd down and 10. Pressured again. Jackson up the middle. Right on the screws. Caught by Paulson. Brought down by Berry. Logan Paulson has caught a touchdown today. Grabs this one at the 47-yard line and picks up 32 for the Redskins.
Good movement of the pocket. This is what Mike Shanahan's traditional offense will give you. Bootleg, roll out, throw it on the other side of the field, and Paulson makes a really nice catch, hauling that one in traffic.
A lot of no huddle here to begin it for the Redskins in the second half.
Yeah, and a lot of movement of the pockets, try to help the offensive line protect the quarterback.
On a 1st and 10, the fake to Morris. Here comes Ali. Moving up is Griffin. Going deep and incomplete. Aiming for Pierre Garçon, former target with Peyton Manning in Indianapolis. Second year with the Redskins as we take you to New York. And James Brown.
And Indy is finally on the board.
Oh, yes, and they're on their way to a comeback. Andrew Luck, which he does so well. He throws to Rick Rogers, who breaks tackles. He takes off. He goes 69 yards for a touchdown for the Colts. 21-7 Cincinnati.
Marino is optimistic with that. 9:57 left in the third. Back to Kevin and Solly.
That's why he was such a great quarterback. You always see it optimistic.
Yeah, and he can help clinch the AFC South division. That's what he's trying to get to. Andrew Luck, a good quarterback.
Morris on 2nd down and 10, wrapped up by the massive Tyson Jackson on a gain of a yard up near the 48. And they'll bring in a sub package on defense with the clock continuing to tick. The problems of freezing rain, holding onto the ball, getting your footing, they're multifaceted.
Oh, absolutely. And for the defense, it's really difficult because you have to react on an icy, frozen field. As you can see there's chunks, the dirt's coming up, it's wet, it's moist, and very slippery down there. But you have to maintain good coverage despite the really poor footing.
7 defensive backs. They need the Kansas City 43. 3rd and 9. RG3, and that ball is incomplete. Looking for Garçon. Cooper was leaping in front. Out of bounds. Incomplete. It's 4th and 9, and another punt for the Skins.
Watch 31, bottom of your screen. Cooper, watch, see, he plants and breaks early. And then he's on time with the footing out there. He ran the route perfectly and had a great angle to nearly intercept the ball.
You played in the league for 7 years. You know how tough it is to work in an icy field.
Yeah, you've got to really be, I think, in tune to the routes the receivers are running. You've got to be a pattern reader. Sometimes you got to jump routes early.
Rocca will finally kick it away from a cluster. No more kicking down the middle. They're going to kick it away from a cluster who has had a record day punt returning for the Chiefs. 38-yard punt. We're in the 3rd. Chiefs come in 9-3, losing 3 consecutive games, but turning it on today, maybe turning a corner, and perhaps getting hot, recapturing some of the magic of that 9-0 start to the season as they head into December. Charles on 1st and 10. And he slices his way up near the 22-yard line. He picks up 7 on that run.
And Kevin, no other team in NFL history had begun the season with 9 straight wins and then went on to lose their next 3. And then here's the deal. If there's other teams, of course, that have had good starts and then lost 3 straight games. But Andy Reid told his team 1 week ago, he said, hey, this isn't college. We still have everything out in front of us. 1 loss does not cost us everything. And you can tell they came out today ready to play football.
With a 2nd down and 3. And bumps by Kerrigan, the linebacker, went out on Charles to cover him with an incomplete pass. And, it's all about momentum and peaking at the right time.
And you talk about, look, teams to start 9-0 or better, then lose 3 straight games. No team has lost 4 straight after getting off to wins of 9 straight or more. See, the New Orleans Saints got off to a 13-0 start, then lost 3 straight. Some of the other teams that have done it. Andy Reid just trying to stem the tide, come away with a win here today, and then start to look forward to the postseason.
Attack, number 91, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
It's on Kerrigan. And another extension of what you're talking about. No team has ever started 9-0 and not made the playoffs.
There you go. And they have all that out in front of them. And they don't want to have this end with some kind of epic collapse. I think the offense has improved under Andy Reid. We're seeing the special teams play lights out, and the defense understand the corrections they needed to make, put pressure on the quarterback, tighten up coverage on the back end, and get back to their winning ways.
Chiefs have still not been penalized in this game. On a first down here from their 27-yard line as the freezing rain continues to fall. Charles. Good block by Schwartz and Bo. And he's in the second level. Up to about the 31. Picks up 4 for Jamal Charles. He's had 4 1,000-yard rushing seasons. He's got today 66 on 16 carries.
And I was surprised when I saw that he's the first Chiefs running back to have 4 1,000-yard seasons with the club. Just passing up Priest Holmes, who had done it 3 times in his career with the Chiefs. But he's one of the most prolific running backs is Jamal Charles that the Chiefs has ever had.
They send him wide here with a 2nd down and 6. Big hitter on the slant. Bo, he picks up the first down, and he's up to the 40-yard line with an 11-yard gain.
Great play by Bo. Watch him just get into the seam. On the back shoulder, one-hands it right in that crease of the elbow. Was he able to haul that ball in? Smith put it right on him, and boy, was he able to haul it in.
Charles, the 3rd all-time, you take a look at Bo, finishing up on Jamal, 3rd all-time leading rusher. Past Christian Okoye earlier this season. On the ground.
He's a leading rusher and receiver, and a very prolific back despite being slenderly built.
Kyle Davis on 1st and 10. He is wrapped up there by Baker. Let's go to New York and James.
Steelers striking quickly.
Oh, yes, Ryan Tannehill standing in the pocket. He's staring down the receiver. He doesn't see Troy Polamalu. He gets picked off. Troy Polamalu dives in the end zone. He gets reviewed. They say the touchdown's good. 21-17 Pittsburgh.
2 scores within 53 seconds for Pittsburgh. Back to Kevin and Solly.
He may be old, but he's not lost much.
No, and the ability to take the ball away. Turnovers are the great equalizer. The Steelers know that all too well.
Kerrigan was coming on the 2nd and 9. He's got McGrath, who corkscrews his way for a first down and a catch and run to the 47. He picks up 11 yards for the Chiefs.
With icicles hanging from the beard, right? Look at that. That's some serious growth under that chin strap. Nice catch. Little spin, as you said. Able to extend and pick up the first down. This offense is really about yards after catch. Quick hitting plays, allowing Alex Smith to get the ball out of his hands. Quarterback doesn't take a lot of hits, and he makes great decisions getting the ball to players like McGrath.
Almost what he was designed to do.
Absolutely.
Davis remains 1st and 10. And some blocking, and then coming through with a nice tackle right there was Golston on the line. And a gain of 4. So the Chiefs need to win this contest.
Number 71 offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
First penalty, Jeff Allen picks it up on the line. The Chiefs need to win today, but they need some help if they want to get the playoff clinching position. They need a loss by either Miami or Baltimore.
Of course, Miami and Baltimore both enter the week at 6-6. Chiefs firmly up there at 9-3. So they have a, 3-game lead for that wild card playoff spot. I think they'll be locked in as a 5th seed, and I see them as a team that can go on the road and still win. I don't see them as a one-and-done team should they get into the postseason.
Cyrus Gray is in 1st and 20. Smith adroitly moving out of the pressure and then looking for McGrath, and Wilson had a hand on it, incomplete.
This is a great play by Alex Smith. Very patient. You know, we talk about him. He's one of the more conservative quarterbacks. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. Look, he wants to go to his left, pulls it down, come all the way back, clear to the other side of the field, and delivers a nice ball to McGrath. As it ricochet off of him, it looked like Wilson may have gotten a finger on it, but he doesn't put the ball in harm's way, Kevin. Has one of the lowest percentage of interceptions of any starting quarterback in the NFL.
Today, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He is 13 of 18, a highly efficient performance. 2nd down, 20. Charles is in. He got a block from Schwartz. He outraces Jackson. Dowdy was blocked. He's in the secondary. Breaks a tackle by Hall. He's being chased to the near side by Rambo. And down he goes. The swerving moves of Jamal Charles elusively gliding for 34 and a first down.
You're a former Jayhawker. Remember the Kansas Comet, the great Gale Sayers?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is one of those runs that reminds me of a Gale Sayers. Cutting on a frozen field, able to dip back against the grain and still rip off chunks of yard. This is just a clever, nifty run by Jamal Charles. Told you he's slender built. But boy, he has a breakaway ability. That's why he's their leading rusher and receiver and all-time home run hitter in the offense.
101 yards for him today and 2 touchdowns. Davis pile driving his way over the right side and initially hit by Kerrigan. It's the third 100-yard rushing attack put on by that man, number 25 right there. There was a gain of 3 on that previous run. 2nd down and 7. He's indispensable for this team.
And for as many yards that he has, I would have thought he would maybe eclipse 100 yards in more games. It's just the fact is he's always a consistent producer running the football each and every game, whether he's catching it or running it. Already, again, over 1,000 yards.
With a 2nd down and 7. Second option for Smith. Belted as he threw. And it is incomplete. Pressure from Arakpo.
And did you see what he did there on the short drop? It was a 3-step drop. He knew Arakpo was coming. He didn't want to throw it to the right and risk turning it over and then immediately just dumping the ball at the feet of his intended receiver before Arakpo can make the hit. He didn't take the sack and he didn't throw an interception, setting up 3rd and 7.
10th play of the drive coming up for the Chiefs. They've hit Bo for 11 through the air, a catch and run of 11 by the tight end McGrath, and a 34-yard run by Charles on this good-looking drive. 3rd and 7. With Charles in. And gets it. Arakpo and Fletcher bring him down. Gain of 3. It's 4th and 4. And on track, Ryan Suckup.
Well, Alex Smith wanted more out of the play, but he understood they didn't have anyone to block Perry Riley Jr. coming off the corner. Free blitzer, 3-step drop, get rid of the football. Don't take the sack, don't turn it over. Live to fight another day and set up the field goal.
So Charles has caught 2 balls. 1 for a touchdown. Here is a 34-yard field goal try by Ryan Suckup. And it's 40. Oh, he did not get the ball. I was ahead of myself, and my apologies. He did not get it to go. Wide right. The shortest miss this season for Suckup.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Well, a missed field goal by Suckup. As you take a look at the Kansas City defensive coordinator Bob Sutton. Very much a part of what was a 9-0 start. They've gotten their criticism last 3 weeks. Today playing well. 1st and 10 for RG3. The block by Trent Williams. And here comes Tyson Jackson. He has played a very good game today. Jackson there. It's the 5th sack. And it is his 2nd this afternoon. Jackson.
He just really didn't have much, nowhere to go with the ball. Didn't want to force it into harm's way. They only really ran 2 receivers down the field. You can see Jackson just peeling back to get the sack behind the line of scrimmage on RG3.
Tyson Jackson now has 4 sacks on the season. 2nd down and 10. Chiefs in the nickel, and here comes Robert Griffin III. Racing his way, he's got the 1st down. And chased by Cooper. Right out of bounds, and hold on to him. He's your franchise player in icy conditions. He's got an 18-yard gain and a 1st down for the Skins.
You know, and I asked him, I said, is that knee brace you're wearing, you see it on the right knee, does it begin to bother you? He says, hey, it's not about the knee anymore. He said, I played with a knee brace when I was in college. He said, it's not my choice to wear it. He said, but being the franchise quarterback, Kevin, he said, I have to wear it. Get the sense that come next year, he wants to get back out there and play without the incumbent of that knee brace.
There's a 1st down and 10. Alfred Morris hit by Barry and driven backwards. What is interesting recently about the blown knee, the ACL, and that's what he suffered last year, we've had extremes. We've had Adrian Peterson, who came back so quickly, the running back for the Vikings, from a blown knee, and then we had Derrick Rose in the NBA with the Chicago Bulls, and it took him a year and a half to come back.
As good as modern medical science is, every player is different. We all heal different. We all recover from maybe even the same injury differently over a different time period. More than anything, he's back out there playing, but is he back at 100%? I think clearly we know the answer to that, and it may take some time for him to get back there, and it may be even into next season.
Chiefs 6 defensive back, 2nd down 9. A quick slant looking for Robinson with the coverage on the play by Sean Smith. 3rd and 9. You're right, everybody is different.
Yeah, and going back to that knee injury, they have to protect their asset, meaning the Washington Redskins. This is a tremendous asset for this football team to have a player like RG3 delivered a division title. Remember, they don't even have a first-round pick in the 2014 upcoming draft because they traded it all away to get this very special player. So you have to protect them and allow them to get back to 100% before you allow them to take that knee brace off.
3rd down 9. Chiefs are bringing everybody. Here comes Berry. Here comes Ali, and they go to the side. It is an incomplete pass. The coverage by Flowers. Looking for the veteran, Santana Moss. It's incomplete, and they got a punt again.
Yeah, and even had it been complete, it would have been way short of a first down marker. I'm sure they're a bit frustrated because they expected to get more out of this offense. This might be a microcosm to what we've seen to the season. Coming up short. Not quite completing passes and not quite completing and finishing off football games.
Sav Rocca from Australia. Ooh! Paul drills McCluster.
Wow. You get tired of McCluster running through your special teams? This is a cure-all. This is how you put an end to all of that.
Yeah, everybody looking for a little bird seed when they can find it. Chiefs with a commanding 38-10 lead late 3rd against the Redskins. Jamal Charles, a block from Avery, and off to the races, and there he is out of bounds with another sprint, this time 17 for Jamal Charles. It's been a sprint through the NFC East for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, Andy Reid's dominated against teams in the NFC East, getting the win over Dallas early in the season, and then in a Thursday night win as Andy Reid returned to Philadelphia, where he had coached for 14 seasons, got the decisive win over the New York Giants, and right now very decisive with a 28-point lead in the 3rd quarter against the Washington Redskins. Sure dominance in the NFC East.
Charles again, 1st and 10. Golston can't bring him down. He slips through one tackler after another and still on his feet. He is incredible. Arakpo brings him down. Slipping and sliding for 33, Jamal Charles.
Watch Jamal Charles. They get you to the 2nd level. And there you see, right there. You've got him, but then 1 minute you don't. Slipping through one tackler after another. Josh Wilson can't haul him in. That's 4 tackles I saw broke right there until Brian Arakpo can haul him down yards later. Wow.
Nice hustle, by the way, by Arakpo. 151. I'd say it's a day.
8 yards per carry? Are you kidding me?
Davis is in. And on 1st and 10. Working outside. And hit by Dowdy, among others. In the secondary for the Skins on a gain of 6 to New York and James Brown.
The Dolphins like cold weather, Dan?
Not really, JB, but they're playing okay today. Ryan Tannehill rolls to his right. He's looking for Brian Hartline. Great catch. They roll it incomplete, but then they review it and said it's a touchdown, 24-21 Miami.
If you can't get excited listening to Kevin Harlan, you're comatose. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
Agreed. All right, 3rd quarter has come to a close, and I think the day has probably come to a close, too, for Dexter McCluster. 151, he's dropped on the Skins today. That's a picture of Jamal Charles right there, who he took you to break with, and I'm assuming his day is done. As much as he's put in, the way he has run the ball so well, a couple touchdowns on the ground, through the air, 151, and 19 carries. Great day One of the top running backs in the NFL, and a guy who probably needs a little bit of a break as often as he touches the ball.
Oh, there's no doubt. He runs it and catches it a ton within the offense.
Second down and 4. It's Davis. Kerrigan will meet him. And Davis, who is a rookie out of Arkansas, third-round pick, will pick up 3. What about your starting quarterback? You lead 38-10. When's it going to be time to bring out Alex Smith?
You know, and it is about controlling the ball and controlling the tempo and not having those moments that can really tip momentum. And, you know, so much is asked when you get a 28-point lead. When will they start to take this guy? You know, on an NFL team where the roster is limited, you can't substitute everyone, and the quarterback controls the tempo, he controls the ball, and still don't want to let it get away from you with 14 minutes to go.
There's a ball in at that right guard, third down and 1. There's a block by the right tackle, Eric Fisher, in a run there, and a gain of about 5 on third and 1, which means a Kansas City first down.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm sorry, and the question becomes, well, you don't want to get anyone hurt. Well, they entered the game with those same questions, but you have to go out and win it first before you start to take guys out. Alex Smith can protect himself by making good decisions, and Andy Reid knows that.
Schwartz back in at the right guard. First and 10. Here comes Davis, jumping over Schwartz, cutting, breaking, galloping, another touchdown. 17-yard touchdown run by Niall Davis, his first NFL touchdown run.
Well, we said coming in, this Redskins defense had given up a league-high 17 rushing touchdowns. They're already given up one earlier today to Jamal Charles, and now another by Davis. And this is just an incredible run. And look at the instincts. They start one way. Here's the cutback. And instead of continuing to bounce it outside, look at him just knife right underneath Josh Wilson to get it into the end zone. Great footwork.
Davis last week against the Broncos had a kick return of 108 yards. Scores his second touchdown of his career, first rushing touchdown. And the Chiefs continuing to pour it on. Everybody getting their hand on the ball and finding reward. Look at Davis with his first touchdown run in the NFL after his kick return last week against the Broncos for his first touchdown. Now he's done it on the ground, replacing Jamal Charles, who has 151 himself rushing today. And the ensuing kickoff. And this will be ball from the 5-yard line. Belton taken down by Anthony Sherman. 22-yard return. This week, don't miss the show that is in a league by itself with guys who take on all 32 teams and each other every week. Join James Brown, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth, and the artistry of NFL Films. It's Inside the NFL, the shows the pros watch. Wednesday at 9 only on Showtime with the new Redskin quarterback and Kirk Cousins from Michigan State in the game. Fourth-round pick out of the Spartan program a season ago. So in the draft they got RG3 with the first and 10. And he has looked good when he has been in. Wide and uncatchable right there for Fred Davis. And the coverage by Eric Berry, incomplete.
And I asked Mike Shanahan, I said, you know, quarterbacks are assets in the National Football League. Kirk Cousins, is he in the future of this franchise, or might he be an asset to be able to trade in the offseason to help recoup a first-round pick given up in the trade to get RG3? He says, hey, you can never have too many quarterbacks, but, you know, if the phone rings, we're going to listen. And I just found that very interesting because Kirk Cousins, his stock has gone up, been able to play well when given the opportunity here with the Redskins.
With a second down and 10 for Cousins. And that wobbles into the grasp of his receiver, Joshua Morgan. Coverage by Sean Smith. 15-yard pickup, and that is a first down.
And there's been a lot of talk about Kirk Cousins. This is what he does well, Kevin. He reads the progression well, make plays from the pocket in a way that maybe RG3 hasn't quite developed, and that's why there's a lot of conversation stirring around this football team that RG3 may have rushed back because he did not want to see Kirk Cousins playing and leading this football team. Those are the articles that have been written around town this week.
A lot of fans pushing for him as well with the 1st and 10. Slings it inside, and that is caught. Grabbed there by Aldrick Robinson. Coverage on the play. Turned in by Lewis. That's a pickup of 11. Another Washington 1st down to the 47-yard line of the Chiefs.
And if Cousins is playing like this, there's no doubt. I think this offseason, with it being a draft that's going to be heavy with quarterbacks, there's some teams out there that are looking. They want an experienced player who has played for Mike Shanahan and in this system where I think he could lend some value if you're looking for a high draft pick.
Malou is in, 1st and 10. Zombo knocks it away. It is a fumble. And it was taken in, I believe, by the lineman Tyler Columbus, the right tackle. It was. He got in it, and Zombo, who got his break in the NFL with Green Bay, it's a 6th sack for the Chiefs D today.
Yeah, Columbus, watch him. Usually the guy who's recovering it is the guy that missed the block, the one who caused the fumble, and that was Tyler Columbus. Look at the top of your screen, 74 against Zombo. He's beaten. Ball comes out. Columbus smartly falls on it and saves the possession.
Zombo was a defensive lineman coming out of Central Michigan. 2nd down and 25. He threads it right there. Nice catch by Pierre Garçon. Flowers was defending. It is a pickup of 8. Well, you talk about the quarterbacks, and you mentioned both. And that brings us back to Mike Shanahan and the supposed alleged back and forth between him and what he's got to do with this quarterback, RG3.
Well, in the article that was written this morning, one of the comments that quoted Mike Shanahan, or at least talked about the fact that he was unhappy with the owner, Daniel Snyder, going up to RG3 in the locker room and maybe not congratulating Kirk Cousins, who had played in that game that day. But then the owner hadn't had words with him. That's just what the report says, and that's what maybe upset Mike Shanahan.
3rd and 17. Johnson just about had his 2nd pick today off his fingertips, but it's understandable in a driving, freezing rain here in the nation's capital.
I got to tell you, though, Kevin, those comments that we read in that article this morning, I think it does suggest that Mike Shanahan's time here could be at an end, and it could be at an end very quickly. And you'll have to see how this thing unfolds. But I got to believe that when both sides woke up this morning, the head coach, and he read those things, and then the owner read those things, neither side could be happy with what they read.
Here's McCluster, who dodges not only a player, or tried to at least, in Morgan, coming down, and also in the special teamer receiver Josh Bellamy, but also a snowball from the upper decks. 46-yard punt. Timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx One Rate. Simple flat rate shipping with the reliability of FedEx. Sonos, the wireless hi-fi system. And by Walmart. Shop early for the season's hottest gifts backed by our new Christmas ad match.
Number 74 in court is eligible. 74.
Quarterback is out of the University of Missouri, former New Orleans Saint Chase Daniel. Record setter for the Tigers in Columbia, and a 1st and 10. It's Niall Davis. Brought down by Hall in a loss of a yard on the play.
Chase Daniel, remember those Missouri teams that he led? Was a prolific quarterback in college. And I think he learned a lot during his time in New Orleans under Sean Payton, playing behind Drew Brees, wasn't called upon much to play. But I saw him in a lot of those preseason games where he appeared to have great command of the offense. Got to believe that's one of the reasons why Andy Reid wanted to bring him in, and he's shown himself to be a real model backup behind Alex Smith.
2nd down and 11. That's what you call the Saints preseason games. Here's Davis outside, and he finds room to roll. And he has a 1st down, a catch and run. Takes him out to about the 26-yard line. Davis with an 18-yard gain.
I like this Niall Davis. I mean, he's nifty. You talked about the 108-yard kick return last week. Already had a nice rushing touchdown today. And look at the footwork, staying in bounds, proved he can catch it coming out of the backfield. Did you see at the end of that play, Andy Reid sort of jumping out of the way as Davis went out of bounds? Even the coach got some nifty footwork.
1st and 10. But we're seeing the value of backup quarterbacks in the NFL this year. Oh, my goodness. Davis takes it. Brought down in the play by Arakpo on a gain of 2. And coming up, it's the Subway postgame show from our CBS studios in New York. JB and company for the latest news, scores, highlights, a busy day, an important weekend in the NFL. All coming up on the Subway postgame show. Here is a 2nd down and 8 for the Chiefs. But those backups, they become valuable. And the Chiefs paid a lot to get Daniel on that roster.
Oh, no doubt. And that's because he's got some experience. He's learned from some really good coaches. And he knows where to go with the football. He's not real high in stature, but boy, he's got an arm, a whip to make plays.
2nd down and 8. Davis cutting inside and hit right there by the defensive lineman Jarvis Jenkins on a gain of 2. Let's go to New York and James Brown.
Kevin and Solly back and forth in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yes, and Big Ben, he brings the Steelers back 16 yards to Jericho Cottre over the middle, breaks a tackle, goes in, Ben's 3rd touchdown pass of the day, 28-24, Pittsburgh.
12:38 left in regulation. Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcots.
If Miami loses, the Chiefs can clinch a playoff berth. They're on their way here, 45-10.
Now, is Dan Marino, is he with the hometown Pittsburgh Steelers or his old team, the Miami Dolphins? He's got to be torn a little bit, don't you think?
That's a good point, yeah. That's a good point.
Hang in there, Dan. Hang in there.
3rd down and 6. Central Catholic High School, I believe, is the name of the high school.
Great player in the Pittsburgh Steeler area and played for the Pitt Panthers, right?
He did. Had a tryout with the Chiefs, in fact, too, but it didn't go all that well. They chose Todd Blackledge instead. 3rd and 6, intercepted. Coughed up. Perry Riley Jr., the linebacker, the leading tackler for this D, was defending Cyrus Gray. It's the first turnover for the Chiefs and a pick off of Chase Daniel.
Oh, we talked about Daniels doing the right thing with the ball, but no, this one's underthrown. Great coverage by Perry Riley Jr., matched up against Cyrus Gray. See, that one's underthrown, Kevin. And that's where you got to get that ball out over the top. If you're going to miss throwing that one long.
He comes up with the interception. It's an incredible performance today by the Chiefs, digging their way out of a 3-game losing streak after winning their first 9, digging their way out of the bad weather here in Washington as well. Looked like Zombo may have been off, and there goes a late flag, and there's a throw, and Kirk Cousins finds Santana Moss, who's brought down by Derek Johnson, a gain of 10 yards. As the freezing rain continues to fall, it's below 30 degrees, we're told.
Offside, number 51 defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, first down.
Zombo just cleaning up the numbers for Robert Griffin III today. 12 of 26, 164, a touchdown and a pick. And Alex Smith for the Chiefs, 14 of 20, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. Kirk Cousins on a first down and 10. And it goes incomplete. And he had a receiver down about the 5, and that was Joshua Morgan.
And I just want to finish off with RG3. 12 completions on 26 pass attempts. Not at all the day he was looking for, Kevin. To be honest with you, he completed his first 12 passes 1 week ago. He was red hot in the first half of that game in a loss to the New York Giants, but today failing to complete even 50% of his 26 pass attempts.
And he finished hitting only 1 of his last 10. He was dropping back the throws. 2nd down and 10 here for Kirk Cousins. He'll go long. And for Garcon, nice break up right there. Beautiful play as they were going for Pierre Garcon.
And it's going to be Marcus Cooper staying on top. This is what you got to do in man-to-man coverage, particularly in situations like this. It's not the 10-yard pass plays or comeback routes that's going to beat you. It's the one you allow to get over your head, and you can only hope that Cooper is going to be okay here.
Cooper is being attended to by Dr. Chris Barnhouse and others out there for the Chiefs. That being said, let's take you to New York and James.
Minnesota without Adrian Peterson.
Oh, yeah, and Matt Castle, he throws an 8-yard touchdown here to Jerome Simpson. Back in the end zone, Minnesota's up 12-7 on Baltimore.
Solomon, Coach Cowher and Shannon Sharp said that Dan will always love Pittsburgh, but Florida is putting money in his pocket. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
There you go, JV. Follow the money, right? That's always the greatest clue. I'm sure part of Dan, though, still roots for the hometown team.
Looking at rookie Marcus Cooper, who was waived by San Francisco in the preseason. Looks like he fell on the knee of Garcon when he was coming down. Watch the knee of Garcon. And then he hit his head. So it was a very difficult fall for Cooper. And it's good to see him getting up. He was a very good high school wide receiver, recruited as a wide receiver to Rutgers. He changed when he was there to a cornerback, and he was a 7th-round pick by San Francisco, waived, and because of the Chiefs' record a season ago, one of the many players that John Dorsey was able to pick up and sign that have helped this team.
And I think unfairly, this kid was picked upon during the week of sort of being the target of everyone. Everybody knows about Eric Decker beating them for touchdowns, but the kid was in tight coverage, and the throws made by Peyton Manning, I got to tell you, the best throws beats the best coverage. And Cooper was in great position. It's just a better throw from Peyton Manning.
Ron Parker has taken his place. He was claimed off waivers from Seattle. 3rd down and 10.
Mike's 39! Mike's 39!
Mike's 39. That means they'll set the protection
That's Abdullah.
around 39. That's right.
Here they come. Halou picks him up, and there's the throw caught by Paulson. Knocked free. Kendrick got a hit on him. Here's the guy replacing the injured Cooper, Ron Parker. And brought down on the play by Chris Chester. So when one guy goes out, next man up, that's Ron Parker, comes up with the play, and a flag is down.
They may say this is a hit on the defenseless player because it was a jarring hit by Demps. Created a fumble.
It was a 21-yard return by Parker. Another takeaway by the Chiefs. Defense amongst the best in the NFL. They've had a couple takeaways today, 2, and that means they've got 28 for the season. 28 takeaways for the Chiefs, and they're plus 15 in the NFL on
After the interception,
takeaway ratio.
personal foul for a blindside block, number 24 of the intercepting team.
Flowers.
That 15 yards will be subtracted from the end of the return. First down.
Another good defensive play for Kansas City, leading 45-10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee, built free. And by Subway. Get your own Big Hot Pastrami from Subway today. Subway, eat fresh.
We're back at FedEx Field, and watch the hit by 24 Brandon Flowers on a defenseless 63 Will Montgomery right here. Now it's to the front, but see, Montgomery is defenseless in that position on a peel back block, and that kind of block is deemed to be against the safety rules that they have instituted to protect players and improve player safety.
Chase Daniel threw a pick the last time. Here he is, Denial Davis on 1st down and 10, looking up for a block from Sherman. Also getting a block out there from Rokevius Watkins. A gain of 2 right there. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS stays locked in the playoff chase. In one matchup, Tom Brady and the Patriots battle Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphins, while Rex Ryan's Jets tangle with Cam Newton and the Panthers. Check local listings beginning with JB, Dan, Coach Shannon, and Boomer on the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. 2nd down and 8. Chiefs playing without their starting left tackle today. Brandon Albert injured. Starting tight end for Sino, concussion. There's a tackle made in the middle by Chris Neal. He's out of West Virginia. Loss of 2 on the play as Neal comes through.
What happens to these Washington Redskins, Kevin? They're anyone's guess. You know, Daniel Snyder brought in, of course, the general manager, head coach, Mike Shanahan, Bruce Allen, and they traded away picks to get RG3. They delivered a division title 1 year ago, and now they have fallen short, and I'm sure they're going to reassess things here in the offseason.
Third down and 10. And incomplete. They'll have to punt. Looking for Hemingway, and the coverage by Jose Gums. Well, these are some of the Chiefs fans, and as we bring you back with the wide shot, they've all accumulated in back of the Kansas City bench on a freezing rain near the nation's capital. And the Chiefs travel well, especially now with that team playing so well and on the brink of a playoff berth and in the wake of the worst record in the league a season ago, 2-14. Will quit the punt. They wave it away and they stay clear, and Santana Moss was back there, and it is a 37-yard punt and landing on the frozen grass.
Well, after giving up over 100 points over the last 3 weeks, this defense has responded, looking to restore their pride. We said they came in here angry, looking to prove a point. Derek Johnson returns an interception 40 yards. Tamba Hali gets sacks. Things that we have not seen this defense do in recent weeks. They come up with turnovers. They get hits on the quarterback, and they're just making plays at every level of the defense. You can see the numbers after giving up an average of over 400 yards on defense the last 3 weeks. Not even 300 yards of total offense allowed to the Washington Redskins offense today.
And just 1 sack last couple weeks, and they've had 6 today. Kirk Cousins, Roy Halou, who played at Nebraska, was tripped up basically by the diving Demps, who knocked him off his horse, and a gain of 2 on the play, up to the 35.
It's so hard during a 16-game season to just, play at your best week in and week out. As you get into the month of November, teams tend to hit a low. You may have an injury, the loss of a Justin Houston, a Tamba Hali, but now they're beginning to hit stride, nearly intercepting that pass there.
James Michael Johnson, he was waived by Cleveland and vacuumed in by the Chiefs. Now 3rd down and 8. Well, we know the past winners in the Super Bowl have all hit their strides in the month of December. Green Bay, the Giants, and Baltimore a season ago.
It's the ideal way of doing it. You don't want to back into these playoffs, and Andy Reid knows it. If the team was going to drop 3 in a row, maybe the month of November was the time to do it. You get hot in December, and you go into what we call the tournament, which are the playoffs, red hot, and that's where you do your damage.
3rd down and 8. Oop. Maybe Catapano moved on that line. Perhaps he crossed the line. And there's Polson. Grabs the ball. Hit by Abdullah and by Demps. Close to a 1st down. Carl Cheffers getting some clarity on the call.
Offside, number 77 defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
That's the former Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year out of Princeton, 7th-round rookie Mike Catapano.
Smart guy.
He is a smart guy.
However, it goes to show you, you still have to concentrate and have to focus in the moment.
Bad at makeup, though, as you can see. Is
that what that is?
I'm just having fun. My brain is freezing, much like the weather. 3rd down and 3. That's the eye black a lot of these guys wear, and he'll be digging in, getting some good snaps right now against Kirk Cousins, who drops back on the 3rd and 3, and that is over the head of the intended receiver, Roy Halou.
Cousins read that slowly, found a check down guy late, and threw inaccurately. It's tough to come in on cold, freezing day like today. Not much practice during the week with the number 1s. It's freezing, it's cold. You got to come in and try to jumpstart the offense. Nonetheless, that's your job and role as a backup quarterback. Right now, Kirk Cousins, 6 of 12, 55 yards, and he's missed on some easy throws.
It's 4th down and 3. Cousins has gone 6 of 12 since taking the place of RG3, who went 12 of 26. And that is incomplete. Back of Halou. Coverage on the play by James Michael Johnson. What is so interesting about these Redskins is they're not going to give it back to Kansas City on downs. But before we get into that, let me tell you just a bit about what's coming up on CBS Sports Saturday. Putting on the matchup, stands all by itself. All grit, all guts, all glory. The Army-Navy game. All beginning with college football today. That's next week on CBS Sports. But not in their wildest imagination the Redskins could have figured this kind of season. In fact, it wasn't Super Bowl or bust coming out of training camp.
All right, they returned 21 of their 22 starters from 1 year ago and certainly expected to win more than 3 ball games.
Gray is put down by Arakpo, who has that endless motor. It's a gain of 3, and he's down to the Redskin 38-yard line.
And they've talked about it. You know, a lot of these teams say, hey, we're just so close. We're losing games by just these small margins. But that's what the National Football League is. When they reeled off 7 straight wins after getting off to a 3-6 start 1 year ago, some of those wins were just by small margins. But at the end of the day, we only count the wins and the losses, not the ones that came close.
2nd down and 7. Chase Daniel, Cyrus Gray, and brought down by the secondary on a gain of 4, and Jose Gums makes the stop. Well, Mike Shanahan with a rugged day today. Not only the weather, but certainly the outcome of the game itself. And for the Redskins, this will be their 5th consecutive loss after winning 3 of their previous 5 and maybe showing a little life and perhaps even another December run, but that's not going to be the case.
No, and with the sting is with every loss, the St. Louis Rams are smiling because they're going to get the Redskins' 1st round pick in the 2014 draft.
With a 3rd and 4, Kerrigan with a nice tackle on Gray and limiting him to a gain of 2 and shy of the 1st down.
And it's just one of those things that you know, you can always look forward to the draft, improving your football team. And look, Washington Redskins 3-9 right now. If the season were to end today, this would be your draft order. Houston Texans would get the 1st overall pick. The Redskins would get the 2nd overall pick, but that pick is going to go to the St. Louis Rams as part of the draft trade to get RG3 when the Redskins took him with the 2nd overall pick in the 2012 draft.
4th down and 2. Davis. And he's plugged up. Stop led by Chris Baker and Cofield and others. A loss of a yard. And the ball on downs to go back to the Washington Redskins. So the Chiefs are going to put this one in the books here and on ice on a freezing, rainy afternoon in the nation's capital. The Subway postgame show coming up. Coach Cower, Shannon, JB, Boomer, all of them ready to go with news, highlights, and scores from today coming up in the Subway postgame show here on CBS. And the Chiefs, of course, hoping that either Baltimore or Miami lose. And if one of those 2 teams lose, as we mentioned all afternoon long, the Chiefs will be in the playoffs in what will signify an incredible turn of events from one season to the next. Wide of Halloo and complete coverage by Demis.
No, you got to love the job Andy Reid has done in Kansas City. What has he done? And, why is this team successful and embarking upon their 10th win this season? I think they brought in a really wonderful coaching staff. They made a trade to get that player, Alex Smith, at the quarterback position. They're good teachers. They coach up every single player, and I think we've seen improvement in all 3 phases of the game, evident by the score you see today.
2nd down and 10. 4 yards right there. Garcon is on his way to what might be a historic receiving single season for the Redskins. Came in with 84 catches today. He's had a handful. He is one of the top receivers in the National Football League coming in. Well, look at Andy Reid and what a difference a year makes for him, huh?
Yeah, huge difference. After 14 seasons in Philadelphia, comes to Kansas City. He said, hey, sometimes change is good. It's been good for him now coaching the Chiefs.
3rd down and 6, Kirk Cousins. Wanting some length on this ball, and that was almost picked off by Kendrick Lewis. Incomplete. So it'll be 4th down and 6. He learned his trade. He got his first break, and he was a former University of Missouri assistant coach, but he went up with Mike Holmgren in Green Bay. Really was indoctrinated into the West Coast offense, which vaulted him to a chance to take over the Eagles, which he had a head coaching job there for 14 seasons.
And one great irony, he was an offensive lineman, played, at BYU for Lavelle Edwards, so, and they threw the ball a lot. So he gets off the bus wanting to throw the football.
Halloo on 4th and 6. Brought down Looked like maybe Alan Bailey was the first guy to hit him and get him. Gain of 5, shy by a yard on downs. It will go back to the Chiefs. Well, let's take a look now with the Chiefs and Broncos with that Titan game coming up here in moments from the Rockies. And you can see who the Chiefs have with 2 of their next 3 on the road.
Yeah, and both teams have 2 games left within the division. Remember, the Broncos already beaten the Chiefs twice so far this year, so they're certainly within the driver's seat in terms of winning the AFC West division. But you know, the Chiefs they can eye that 5th seed in the AFC, and they can get a lot done from that spot. When was the last time one of these #1 seeds who had home field advantage held serve anyway in the postseason? They don't tend to do so well.
Chiefs offense today, 196 rushing yards. Alex Smith, who you see, 14 of 20 through the air, 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. The defense recorded 6 sacks. The special teams had 2 kick return touchdowns. And it was just a complete carving of the Redskins by Kansas City.
And people are going to look at these numbers by Alex Smith's name and say, it's just very pedestrian. But, you know, 2 touchdown passes or more in 4 consecutive games. Doesn't throw the interceptions. And I think it's just critical that he's just a good game manager. He's always putting the offense in good position. And at the end of the day, they're scoring a lot of points, Kevin. I know it got done with special teams, the defense, but you know, they're putting points on the board in recent weeks.
You know, one of the things that these quarterbacks don't like is what you say, game manager. And I heard the other day a nice phrase used by coach in the league. He said, let's call it winning football.
That's what a good game manager is.
Winning football.
And that's what you're supposed to do. It's not just quarterbacks going out winning all these Super Bowls. It's the quarterbacks with the best defense who's winning Super Bowls. It's always been about the team, always will be about the team.
All right, coming up next is the Subway postgame show. Plus, we'll give you some bonus coverage with the Miami-Pittsburgh Steelers game. Like we said before, now that it is official in 4 seconds with the Chiefs win 45-10 over the Redskins. If either Miami or Baltimore loses, the Chiefs will be in the playoffs, which will make a wonderful conclusion to one of the great turnarounds from last year to this in the NFL. For Solomon Wilcott, Kevin Harlan, so long from Washington. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.